Alright guys, this is it. This is the last video of the year. Not the last lesson, but the last video. So, please, in honor of this, only have the volume of this turned up. Do not try and play any other music over the top. Don't be watching another YouTube video. If you truly want to get better in your education, then only watch this video. If you have something else up, then I'll truly know what your overall desire is. Question number 3 on cylinders. This one, I want to know the height. Well, the formula for this, for cylinders, is pi r squared. And so I'm going to go 5 squared. Pi r squared times my height. And I don't know my height. I do know my r. This should equal the volume of this. So I find the area of the circle, and then how many circles are stacked on top of each other. Okay. That equals 785.4. Alright, I got that number from here. So the volume is that. Okay. So I'm going to pause it quick and calculate this out. Alright, so I got that pi 5 squared is actually about 78.54 roughly. And remember, that's still times the height, equals 785.4. So how do I get rid of this? I'm going to divide by 78.54. Divide by 78.54. That's a 7. Alright, that's going to cancel, and I get my height, h, whoa, sorry, my wife's cleaning the table off right now. H equals 785.4 divided by about 10. I get a height of about 10. Alright, so that's another way that you'll see some problems with cylinders. Alright, moving on. Story problem: a regulation hockey puck is made of 1 inch thick rubber. So I know that the thickness here is 1 inch. And has a volume of 2.25 pi inches cubed. What is the diameter of the hockey puck? So I am looking for this rascal. It's the same type of situation. I know the volume is 2.25 pi. Now remember, that's pi. So it's actually going to be like, I don't know, around the 10 region. More like 8. That's the volume. And volume of a cylinder equals pi r squared times height. So I'm going to go pi, I don't know my radius, r squared. I do know my height though is 1 inch, right? Well, guys, I don't know about you, but if you multiply anything times 1, it's itself. So really, it's just that. And then I'm going to get rid of it by dividing by pi first. That'll get rid of that. Divide by pi. Now here's the kind of cool part. Look at that pi and that pi cancel out. So now I have left 2.25 equals r squared. And then, of course, you square root that sucker. So I'm going to square root it, and I got r equals square root of 2.25. Got 1.5. I knew that. Alright, now that's r. Remember, the question says, what is the diameter? So we know diameter is double. So d equals 3 inch. So it's 3 inches across on a hockey puck. Pretty sweet stuff. Alright, moving on. Cones. Alright, now I'm not going to really do too much stressing on cones, but once again, it is a pointy object. Could it impale somebody? Yes. So if we can impale him, we're going to treat it by just dividing by third, or by 3. Remember, what is the original shape of this thing? If I drew it out, it would be that is about as slick of that's a cylinder. Okay, and guess what? The cone is 1/3 of a cylinder. So I'm going to still do the pi r squared times height, but this one I'm going to divide by 3 because it's a pointy object. Alright, so we're just going to do one of these suckers. So I'm going to do pi r squared times height. So that will tell me this ring ding. Alright, if I do pi r squared times height, that'll tell me the cylinder. So I'm going to go pi times, and follow me, 9 times height, which is 8. You guys with me on how I got 9? R squared, 3 times 3 is 9, right? Alright, and if I do this quickly, if I can find my pi button, which of course will not be quickly. Alright, pi times 9 times 5, 22. So the answer is 22. 6.19er. Now remember, that's the cylinder. I don't have the cylinder, right? I don't have the cylinder. I have to cut away and make this a pointy object. Well, how much will be left? I am going to divide this by 3. Don't forget, whenever you have a pointy object, your final answer needs to be divided by 3. So divided by 3, and I am going to get roughly 75.4. I know it's ugly, and that's going to be inches cubed. That's how many cubes will fit into that object. Okay, you can do number 2 as well. Practice on number 2, obviously. But that is how we would do that with a pointy object. So same kind of deal. Alright. We're going to skip through just because of time-wise. I am running low on time. So see if you guys can do some of these. These are volume ones. Alright. And so you're going to use this formula. Remember, it's a pointy object, so you're going to divide by 3. But they give you the volume, and you have to try and figure out what the radius is, or the height, vice versa. Let's see. Alright, last one. Last topic. It's a sphere. This is making me run. Sorry, it's been a rough night. Sphere is like a ball. Alright, it is a ball. And you'll notice the formula for a sphere is this. Volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. Can't help you with this formula. It will be supplied on a quiz. You're just going to need to really be able to plug in numbers. Okay? To be able to figure out how many cubes will fit into this sphere. So remember, here's the formula right up here. You might want to keep referring to this. And I know that volume will equal 4/3. Now here's what I'm going to do. Instead of the 4/3, I'm actually going to do this. 4 pi, because this is the same thing. And r is 6, so I'm going to go 6 cubed over 3. Now do you see how this is the same thing? See how this is 4/3? It's still 4/3 right here. Do you see that? But this will help us understand a little bit more what to do. So I'm going to go 6 cubed. 6 to the 3rd power. That's 216. Then I'm going to go times pi. It's almost like going backwards. Okay, and then I'm going to go times 4. Alright, so I should get this big number. It's like 2,714. But then I have to divide it by 3. So dividing by 3 is like the last thing you do. And I should get about 904.77. Okay? So try the next one, all right, and see if you guys get the right answer on the next one. Pause it and then check it out, all right? You should get, in my calculations, the answer, because you've paused it and answered it, about 179.59. All right, that is how many squares fit into there. Okay. All right, next question. All right, once again, I'm trying to find what R would be. Well, I know the formula is volume equals 4 pi r cubed over 3. Remember that 4/3. I'm just going to keep all this stuff on top. Well, this time I know my volume is 3,053.63. And that equals, well, obviously 4 pi r cubed. Ooh, this is going to give us a little bit of a challenge here. R cubed over 3. All right, so geniuses, what are we going to do first to get r by itself? We're trying to solve for r, right? We're going to multiply by 3. Okay, so multiply this by 3. This might take us the whole way, guys. 3 times 3,053.63. 91,060. All right, so I got 91,060.89 equals 4 pi r cubed. Now, 4 pi is actually a number. Should we try and simplify and figure out what 4 pi is? Let's go 4 times pi. Let's actually figure out what that is exactly. It's actually 12. If you go 4 times pi, it's actually 12.56. So really, it's that. All right, and sometimes that might help you guys as you're working through this. Nothing exciting here. I think that's a 9. That's my own poor writing. All right, so I'm going to divide by 12.56. Divide this by 12.56. So I have that divided by, if you guys had a good calculator, it really saves time that it stores old calculations. Roughly 729. It's a 9. And that's a 7. 729 equals r cubed. Now, how am I going to get rid of a cube? What do you guys think? Well, I'm going to cube root it. Cube root is the kind with a 3. I'm going to cube root this. And let's see. Hopefully you guys have a cube root on your calculator. And so I'm going to go 729 to the 1/3 power. Actually, sorry, 1/3 power. I get 9. R equals 9. So my radius is 9. I told you that was going to take almost the whole time, just because I have to write out a lot. All right, so try number 4 as well. There's a couple of story problems, but work through some of those examples, and then we'll check on board, see how we're doing. And then I think we got a board game we're going to be working through. Remember, quiz tomorrow or Thursday, whenever you're watching this. And have yourselves a good day. Until next year, I will see you later, camera.